So you're thinking about hiring a virtual assistant, but there's just one thing that has you stuck. It's a question every business owner struggles with, and for a good reason. You don't want to get too few hours and still end up feeling stuck or swamped, but you also don't want to get too many and feel like you're wasting your money and hurting your bottom line. But here's the truth. It's honestly challenging to figure out the perfect number of hours on your own, and here's why. You're likely not an expert at what you're trying to delegate or delegation in general, which is okay, as most business owners aren't. But it sure is hard to plan for something you don't know a whole lot about. In this video, I'll show you a way to figure out your needs so you can hire with confidence and avoid spending a ton of money when you're still trying to figure it out. The first step is to complete a simple time audit so you can really see how you're spending your time. Therefore, for the next week, I want you to track everything you do. However, instead of just creating a list, I want you to categorize each task as either core work, meaning things only you can do, or delegatable, referring to tasks you could hand off. This exercise shows you where your business is bleeding time and reveals areas of friction that might be stunting strategic growth. You'll also be able to see how much time you're losing by spending your valuable time on your delegatable list. This is time you need back so you can spend it on revenue generating tasks. Also, keep in mind that you don't want to use this time audit to determine how many hours a virtual professional should work, because that wouldn't be accurate. A virtual support strategist would likely be faster and more efficient than you because they'd ideally be working in their area of expertise. Now let's move on to step 2, defining the role. Try to forget about the number of hours for a moment. Instead, look at your delegatable list and ask yourself, what kind of virtual support partner do I need? Are you looking for a marketing expert to run your social media and email campaigns, a financial specialist to handle your bookkeeping and invoicing, or a client support professional to ensure customers are responded to in a timely manner? Truthfully, the right number of hours is completely irrelevant if you're not hiring the right person. If you hire someone that isn't that familiar with the task either, they'll take longer and be more prone to making mistakes. So this step helps you pinpoint the exact skills you need in a virtual professional. Now for step 3, creating a pilot project, which I think is the most effective way to determine the hours you'll need. To do this, start with a small project. For example, if you've identified social media as your biggest time-draining activity, start by hiring an expert for a 1-month project or for a specific block of time, like 20 hours. This lets you see their efficiency and how much time an expert might actually need. It's a low-risk way to prove the concept before you commit to an ongoing partnership. In addition, you might learn that you only need a virtual assistant quarterly instead of on an ongoing basis, depending on your volume of requests. It's a solid approach to help you gain clarity on the scope of work and the right number of hours for your needs. So to recap, do a time audit to find your pain points. Define the role you need to fill, and start with a pilot project to determine the right amount of hours. By following this process, you can hire with greater confidence and avoid spending a ton of money before knowing what you need. If you want help getting aligned with a virtual subject matter expert for a pilot project, or you're just tired of doing everything yourself and want to hand tasks off with confidence, that's our specialty. Click the link in the description to schedule a discovery call so we can help you align with a virtual subject matter expert for your business. Lastly, if this video was useful, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want tips on delegating with confidence. Thanks for watching.